According to Webster's dictionary, a conflict is described as a struggle for power, a strong disagreement, or even a difference that prevents agreement. Conflict has no boundaries and takes place all around the world. From personal to global conflicts, each is very unique. As I figured out through my short college experience, each person is introduced to things such as conflict at different times due to their background. Did you ever worry about global conflicts when you were younger? I never watched the news or discussed such topics until I went into high school. Throughout my high school career, my friends and I would always talk about popular events on the news, which would always be a source of conflict. We would always like to debate both sides and see why these acts were being performed. We would always try to pick the side that was right, based on our American values and morals, and did not take into account the people's culture. I believe this was because how I was raised. I only knew mine and the others who just lived in my small community. School is a huge factor when discussing conflict. Education in the school environment has definitely shaped the perception on conflict. Education is taught by certain perspectives. Not only does the teacher have to teach through their own perspective, but each textbook has an author. The author of the book might not mean to show bias, but it'll always be there in the written text. These two factors play a huge role when developing a perception on any topic. During the Bridge program at IUPUI, we have discussed so many conflicts. One topic that I researched personally within my group was the Russian and Ukraine dispute over Crimea. There are many perspectives on this conflict, but there are four major perspectives that shape the argument: Russian, international, Crimea, and the Ukraine perspectives. The Russians believe that Crimea belongs to them and is already a part of their country with no questions. However, the Western nations and Ukraine state that this violates international law and Crimea should remain as a part of Ukraine. Then the last perspective would be the people of Crimea. The Crimean believe that when it comes to their culture, they have more in common with Russians and want to belong to Russia. When first learning about conflict, I really did not pay much attention to each perspective simply because I thought that the international perspective was the right thing for the people. Through the Bridge program and my themed learning community, I have learned to keep an open mind when discussing conflict. So when discussing a topic like this, I would need to do sufficient research to understand why the conflict is happening. Ideally, I would address conflict with an open mind. I will always need to explore all the perspectives and then in the end, try to find a peaceful resolution.